Here are some quick tips for editing this template. It's a Google drawing, so if you're new to Google Drawings, here are some tools you'll use. First of all, it's looking very small right here because I'm zoomed out. So you'll want to get used to using the magnifying glass tool. Click on that, and usually I click it twice and I'm zoomed in enough to see what I need to make edits. If you want to zoom out, you just right click, or on a Chromebook it's a two-finger tap, so then I can get back to here. I found that if I'm editing pictures, it's probably best to be about at this level, and I'll talk a little bit more about pictures in a minute. For right now, let's zoom into this, and I'm going to pick the select tool again, the arrow, and that will let me change things like the text, clip art, and just arranging things. I've noticed that sometimes when I click on the text the first time, it might jump around a little bit, so just get used to scrolling to where you need to, select the item, and then you can make any changes that you want to this text. I just put these on as a suggestion. Same thing here. You're going to want to elaborate on your question and put the full question here. Every one of these sections has something that you're going to have to edit. You'll have to elaborate on these parts. Feel free to change anything. So I'm going to zoom out one time and just work with the images a little bit. So first of all, to find the images, click image here, and when that opens up, what you'll see first is these options. And you actually could take a snapshot with the Chromebook, but usually what I do is I get them from my Google Drive, or I search for them. Get your pictures to Google Drive first if you're going to use pictures that you took with your camera. So usually what I do is I use the Google Drive app on my phone to upload those to my drive, and then I can find them here. So for example, when I click Google Drive and I scroll past all my folders, you can see here I have some pictures of students who were doing an experiment. So let's say I wanted to use this one and I double click it. It doesn't put it where I want it right away. It'll usually put it in the middle of the drawing. So that's why it's best to be zoomed out a little. And if you double click it, that will let you crop it so you can change what is seen in the picture. So for example, if I wanted to get the experiment here, I could crop it and then click off that. That will make the handles where you can resize it. So I probably need to shrink this a little bit and drag it up to the top if I wanted it here. Get rid of the shape that I put in for the picture because that was just a placeholder. So you'll want to delete that. I'm clicking the backspace key once I click on the edge to remove that. And then I can put any photograph that I want here. You might want to add more pictures. And if you want to get really creative, you can even go up here on the crop tool, click that little down arrow, and you can crop it to different shapes, which might be fun. So I could crop it to an oval, for example. So you can change the look quite a bit on here. Now to bring in clip art or anything else off the internet, what I did is I went to that image tool again. I went back to the main menu, and when you pick search, you can search for something like a beaker. And I put clip art in here. And so here you can see the beakers that I used. I used this one. I'm going to double click it. Notice that it comes in really large, so you do have to resize it and move it wherever you want. You see with the beaker I used, I put a little angle to it, so you can grab that handle there and spin it if you want. Obviously the most important part is what you type in these sections. So get that done first and then work on the look of it as much as you have time for.